Sup, everyone, Wave here. Today got was on right here. Overwatch 2 is an insult to gaming. Let's react to it.
The year is 2019. An electric BlizzCon sets the stage with an impressive video game cinematic kicking off the announcement of Overwatch 2. I don't know if you got chills from this, but I did. How exciting, man. A game that's only given us a taste of how interesting and deep the story and world could be was going full bore with an entire playable campaign.
It wasn't just a multiplayer game anymore. It had true depth with a single player announcement, man. That was hype.
This was the moment that would set Blizzard on the path of, in their
words,
words...
I miss Jeff, man. Like, he was one of the most important figures for the PvE mode, but yeah, he is gone.
Redefining what a sequel really means. For some people like myself at the time, it was a bit confusing to see Overwatch getting a sequel when they were already releasing content frequently. We were getting new heroes, story missions and events, and we didn't want to lose that. So why announce the sequel at all? Is it because they wanted to charge people for what was free then? Maybe. But I will say it was slightly suspicious they announced Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4, both of which aren't in the hands of the consumer, only a month after a huge controversy. I'm not going to say the free Hong Kong situation was why these announcements were made at the time, but it could give a bit of insight to corporate arm twisting.
It was pretty much a reason for it, yeah.
Happening.
Like, not only this, but all the multiple allegations, man. It was insane, and it still is.
Behind the scenes.
Like, they found out more shit like every single month. There's something new with Blizzard. It's insanity.
And nearly 4 years later today, the Overwatch 2 devs announced that Overwatch 2 is dead. Not verbatim, but that is what they said. The PvE campaign and story missions with skill trees for each hero have been completely axed. They'll be salvaging what they can and packing missions up into Battle Pass story episodes. Overwatch 2 is dead because it was supposed to be a PvE campaign release. I'm gonna warn you now, this video is going to get vitriolic. Fucking, excuse me? What? We waited 3.5 fucking years for this. You killed Overwatch
since the announcement.
One for the sake of this dogshit sequel. The shit balancing, no content, the joke of a competitive scene, all for this fucking Hail Mary, which you just can't.
Like, when I see Overwatch competitive, it's just the same team facing each other all over again. Like, they pick the same pick. I don't know how it is right now currently with Live Weaver and shit like that, but I can remember when it was released with Kiriko. You just saw like Kiriko, Sojourn, Reaper, Winston and some shit like that. Like, it was basically a mirror match every single time. It was fucking boring to watch and no one wanted it. But now it's decent, I think. But I'm not good with my information right now about the Overwatch League, but I think it's better.
I'm about to go in. You left us with terrible balancing, Diva's Matrix smothering everybody, Moth Mercy meta, Briggs release and subsequent 5,000 nerfs, Goats meta, being unable to balance Goats meta, buffing every DPS to try and counter it, throwing your hands up in the air and introducing roll lock, not reverting those DPS changes and them terrorizing the game.
The huge problem with roll queue was not only that it was roll queue, it was that you had open queue and roll queue. You split up a player base. It was insane. Like, you back in the day in Overwatch 1, when Overwatch 2 wasn't released, wasn't announced, after Echo was just huge silence. Like, we got nothing. Like, they could balance the game pretty well. They did balance the game pretty well, but it got boring because you got no updates and the events were just repeats. The skins were reused and basically just League of Legends chromas, but yeah, it was a disappointing time. The Overwatch 2 release itself was decent, but it never deserved the title of Overwatch 2. Like, it's like a new season in League of Legends. Why, Blizzard? Why?
State of Sigma upon release. Double shield for the entirety of Overwatch 1 until now. No content. Recycling Junkenstein's revenge year after year, all because
like, at least make a new level out of it. Like, that was like the same shit, man.
Coming. Help is on the way. A release that could have been called an alpha
multi-billion-dollar company. It's insanity.
Build. You couldn't play half the maps. They took out an entire game mode. They disabled 3 of the heroes. They threw their hands up in the air.
Bro, I miss Anubis. Where's that map? Where's that? Because those maps where you need to take control of a zone and then take another one, they were hugely imbalanced. It was Hanamura, Anubis, and that other, well, Skaya Industries, and they are gone. Not longer in comp anymore. That's it.
Yeah, about balancing the game again and made it 5v5 with only one tank. Half the heroes in the roster are incompatible with the 5v5 format and have been barely touched.
Bro, what is the reason of Zenyatta? Like, yeah, in pro hands, it can be very useful. With his auto attacks, he does a shit ton of damage, but his ult is basically to counter other ults. But I don't see him in casual or normal comp anymore. Like, I think he's unplayable.
Reworked player cards, player levels, the
Yeah.
workshop.
Why did you remove the levels, for fuck's sake? Why? It was good progression. For at least for people who bought Overwatch on, I paid $60, 60 euros, hard earned from my parents. I spent that money on Overwatch. It was my first $60 game, which I bought. Like, I've never spent so much on it. And then they just released Overwatch 2, and the loot boxes were gone, and the levels were gone. They deducted content. It's insanity. Why did they do that?
On fire system, the end screen, ranked.
Yeah, was nice. Like, you could see that shit, or the voice lines, man. They're still in there. Like, every time you were on fire, the characters would just spot out some random voice line. Yeah, I'm on fire or something like that. But it's still in game, but you can't see the fire anymore. I don't know why they even put it out. I don't get it.
Was stripped bare, loot boxes were gone. Only
Yep.
Blizzard could make something worse than loot boxes. It's been over 6 months and we still don't have all of these features back. They literally de-built the game and re-released it with a 2 on the cover because we were supposed to get the PvE campaign. And
Sit.
now it's gone for the good of the game and its live multiplayer component. Guys, could you go back in time to 2019 and make the decision then? It's so insulting that you would make us sit through this stagnating, dying game that you butchered the live multiplayer component to now spit in our faces, say that we waited for nothing, and now you care about the live multiplayer component. The flip-flopping from Blizzard is just pathetic, man. They have just undone over 3 years of work. I think it's also pretty surprising that it took this long to then cancel the game. I don't know how they didn't have anything more to show us since 2019 all this time. Like, what the fuck were they working on? Where is it?
Maybe they had nothing and they did nothing. That could also be it. Like, I can't really imagine it.
I actually
Like,
think
I know there are hard workers at Blizzard, and those people shouldn't be flamed. But the higher ups, the corporatives and shit, like, bro, they're scamming you. It's
them
obvious.
not having anything to show us all this time is kind of telling. Kind of demonstrates a problem I had with Blizzard even before they announced the sequel. As someone who came to Overwatch from Dota, I find it very strange how long they took to create heroes. Which I know is a strange perspective to have considering Dota doesn't put out that many characters. It was more so in the respect that Valve kind of seemed to move way faster than Blizzard. Blizzard gives off the vibes of this monolithic monstrosity.
I think at the release of a game of something which is based on heroes like Dota, League, and Overwatch, or Paladins. At the beginning, you should put out many champions with somewhat of a polish, but at the beginning it is necessary to at least get the certain amount of heroes, like 40, 60, I don't know. Like, you need more than just like 16, 20. That's not enough, I think. Yeah, well, Overwatch heroes were pretty high quality, but it felt like we were releasing nothing. What you need to do is to put out many heroes at first, and then you slow down over time. After that, you go back and rework the fast releases, the shitty heroes. Like, if they get shit.
With so many
This will be a pretty well timed, but after that, the game will be in a pretty good state, and that's just a League of Legends formula right there.
cogs in the machine that they each slow each other down. After how the release of Overwatch 2 is gone, I really think the phrase Blizzard polish is a fucking joke. Their defense of this and putting out quality content and the pride they've had in doing it
doesn't exist anymore.
Kind of insulting at this point. Other developers can put out working and engaging content that is on par with what Blizzard's capable of in half the time. It took them 4 seasons of the game to rework one ability for Brigitte because it needed an art pass. Valve Software could have turned that around in 2 fucking weeks. New agents in Valorant or champions in League have as many bugs as new heroes in Overwatch have, and they have a whole QA department. As a matter of fact, I haven't seen so many instances of
I've seen so much rage about League and the new patches, the new champions and shit like that. But what I can say is that the people who work on League, they're truly, right now, they're truly hard at work and do their shit. They keep the game engaging, and I still play it till this day. Even though I hate it so much, but yeah, I'm an addict. But what I can say is, Riot Games, you're one of the few companies who actually give a shit about the game.
Bug
turn money, of course, but
tuning patch after patch, as I have in Overwatch. Everyone who's kept an eye on the game since release knows we're just waiting for the next patch to break Reaper's teleport and let him outside of the map again. Now, I can criticize it all I want, but I can't exactly tell you how Blizzard's development pipeline works. But I can tell you how good they are at producing results. If you give Blizzard 3.5 years, they will make fucking nothing. So many characters in the game are still broken and needing reworks, which we aren't getting till Season 7, which, speaking of, is outlined in the new content roadmap. This is what we're getting in place of the PvE release. If you ask me, this is what Blizzard should have been doing before they ever announced the game. This is really what I would consider to be an industry standard. In Season 5, the first season since they're not working on the sequel, we aren't even getting a new hero. We're getting a couple limited time events, which, if you ask me, are probably half an hour to an hour's worth of content. A cutscene. They're bringing back the On Fire system, which was already in Overwatch 1. There's a special competitive game mode. It's probably fucking Lucio Ball being recycled again. And Creative Workshop, whatever that means. Considering it's in the fine print, I doubt it's anything like what there is in Fortnite, and it likely has no form of
the thing Epic Games brought up with the Fortnite engine and shit like that. I think Fortnite will be the upgraded Roblox. In terms of success, it will be insane.
For any creators. Season 6...
Because you can do anything you want now. I've seen the game modes, it's pretty much fun,
Like it has some stuff that is going to be fun to play. We're getting story missions. We're getting a new hero. There's a new game mode, and there are hero mastery challenges.
They put this shit like it's something really great and exciting, but this is the bare minimum. It's insanity. There shouldn't be a 2 here. It should be... this is Overwatch 0.75. It's not even Overwatch 1 anymore.
They're upgrading the practice range, but as a long-standing player, I actually really appreciate it. But this is Season 6. I expected stuff like this in Season 1. It's such a shame, because if they didn't even go with this sequel BS, we would have had 10 plus new characters by now. And then apparently in Season 7, there'll be a new tank hero, a new collab, a new map, more minor events, and this one here, Lore Codex. You're basically going to have the ability to unlock bits of lore to read. So instead of making the campaign, we get to fucking read it. And of course, there are the reworks there too. To me, this is standard at best. They have an incredibly massive team with a shitload of talent at their disposal, and they can't work as fast as any other developer in the scene. Oh, but it's Blizzard polish, man. What the fuck are they polishing? Seriously, what are they polishing? Tell me. Polishing the fucking breast milk cabinet? Goddamn. With this horrendous announcement, I would expect a new hero every season. It's honestly exhausting to care about. You know, the battle passes are shit. If you look at Apex Legends, one season of them just blows Overwatch out of the water. And I know what you're thinking. Well, why not play Apex then? And you know what?
True.
Maybe I fucking will. This is likely to stand as one of the most embarrassing moments in gaming for the entire decade. To me, this is worse.
I stopped when Live Weaver came out because the game just kind of boring. I played it on and off, but after they cancelled Overwatch PvE, it was over for me. I'm not touching that game ever again.
Than Cyberpunk, it's worse than Fallout 76. This is some seriously bad shit. Fallout 76 and Cyberpunk, you had the opportunity to sit back and wait a week for reviews to roll in. This bait and switch grift has been running for years.
At least Cyberpunk got pretty good after a while.
Live service. EA is probably taking notes. My last thoughts on this are related to how I opened the video and their announcement in 2019. I speculated there was likely some corporate arm twisting that pushed the announcement forward. Blizzard lost China recently, and last I heard, the Microsoft acquisition has been blocked in the UK. To me, the only thing the higher ups at Blizzard would have been thinking is shit. We need to make money now, or that graph is gonna go, oh,
Yep.
fuck you. So it's very likely with them losing so much money that they needed to make it up somewhere else. And because the PvE for Overwatch 2 was
You need to sell if you have like... Don't invest in Blizzard, I guess.
too long and taking so many resources, they said, too bad. You need to make money right now with everything you have. And on that point, I think Overwatch 2 has likely been quite successful in making them money. It really has been the shop update in many ways, which is so fucking funny. I said this the whole time, bro. All they did with the sequel was slap a 2 on it and put a shop in the game. They just released skins and locked new heroes behind a paywall. And people buy the fuck out of them. Everyone got in on the One Punch Man collab. Everyone's got the fucking battle pass. It's definitely making more money than it used to, and they need it to make more. It's such a shame because this could have been the model from the start, and you know that Activision wanted it to be from the start. You know Jeff Kaplan smelled this shit coming, which is why he left or was forced to leave, because he was part of the Blizzard old guard and actually had some authority. It was my opinion when Overwatch 2 came out that they should have waited till the PvE was ready, because they had already strung us along and fucking stabbed us in the back with the first game, that they should have just let it be and released something good. And to me, the terrible release of the game was it for Jeff, and he was out, and he potentially even saw this coming, that it just wasn't feasible for the team to try and develop one game whilst running the other. This is such a catastrophe in management, it boggles the fucking mind. I do not know how they keep outdoing themselves. Here we are now. Can Blizzard ever regain its reputation? If the game's good, people will play it, but I don't think anyone is gonna trust a fucking word out of Blizzard's mouths for the foreseeable decade. Thank you so much.
The next big thing, which is D4, Diablo 4, it will be the moment where I decide to uninstall the Battle.net launcher, like for real. Like I'm out for D4, and I really hope that it's not a rush release or something like that. But it certainly could be. And if it doesn't have good endgame, if it doesn't even reach the standards of like PoE or D3, then I don't know, man. Like D3 is like an average game right now. Like I would give it a 5 out of 10. I had much fun with it, but D4 must deliver. Or Blizzard is gone. After that, there's no hope. After that, they just have World of Warcraft, which is still big, but that is also gonna dwindle down. And yeah, that's it. Go subscribe to the dude Gallus. He made the content. I just reacted to it. And I still would really appreciate your support. And I guess that's it. I guess see you next time. Wafer out.